It's a vlog, and I got 2 vlogs up, working on a third. So go on and check it out.
I see you went live, Derek. It worked. It just popped up on mine. What's the deal, sir?
my name,
Light
my
skinned
name
king.
is
I
stop.
thought I was light skinned. You that nigga.
My name is Edward. Some of you
No.
may remember me from the first iteration of Red Caron's podcast. What was that? How many
Nigga
years ago was
already
that?
fucked up.
Yeah, they don't remember you.
That was
Yikes.
literally
He messed up his name for one.
6 years ago.
That was that. Yeah, that top man. Where'd the time
That was
go?
literally
But
6 years ago. I think he was on that bitch for 5, 6 episodes. But nah,
First
like you
studio.
said earlier though, you did the what's that shit called? The thoughts from Andromeda,
got some Andromeda.
the
Yeah.
red room.
Yeah. So yeah. Where'd the
So
time go?
really, it's been like 8 years, 8, 9 years, because that was
Crazy.
like 2015.
That's crazy.
I
Where'd
was
the
thinking
time
about
go?
that. Like, I I really have been doing some form of this type of thing for a long time. Because
Yeah.
we even did video, we even tried video the one time. Remember, we was in that studio I used to work
hmm
at,
Mhm.
and
Yeah.
we had the GoPros and all that, and it just didn't work. We've been
Yeah.
cursed with the video side of things, but we also have my beautiful cousin here. Go ahead, introduce yourself too.
Hey, my name is no, I can't do it.
Mm,
Tika Love.
My name here.
Just
mm,
trying something new. Yeah, now to be
Trying to
like,
get that damn box.
yeah.
What the fuck?
Right? I don't know.
Um,
You got to point. You got to
God
point the
damn.
opposite way when you. It's mirrored.
There you
mm,
There
go.
you go.
That was
Spot on.
perfect.
Yep.
That was
yeah.
perfect.
She did
I'm gonna
that.
forget for next time. Yeah, trying something new. I feel like I'm an introverted extrovert situation. If you know me, then you know me. So that's when you get to see me. So maybe y'all get to see me tonight.
I think everybody here is an introverted extrovert, except maybe this nigga Brandon, because he be outside, and this nigga is. But no, but you introverted, extroverted too.
Yeah,
You probably just more extroverted than the rest of us, though,
I
because
can
your
turn it
ass,
on,
dog. Yeah, you a
but
wild
no.
nigga, dog.
But for the most time, I be want to be at home.
Like, especially in the summertime, this nigga just hit the group chat
Yeah,
like I'm drunk or drunk I'm.
Like,
Then
okay,
after
man.
that, it's all downhill. Like, what the fuck is this nigga talking about? But
Where's you
no,
at?
we here, bro. I appreciate all you guys for showing up. This is dope. Should be a great conversation. What is we starting with? I think we should start with something that's gonna be pretty easy to get into. I think the most pressing issue is probably that election that nobody has talked about. None of us have talked about amongst ourselves.
But
Or
disappointment.
disappointment. So
I
you
think
that's
everybody's disappointed and in kind of disbelief that it was that bad.
go ahead. Edward, what you talking about? Yeah,
On
Derek. You talking about
point.
Derek's face? That nigga's that
On
nigga's
point,
not
man.
disappointed at all.
On
You,
point.
you happy? Okay.
I'm gonna wait. I want everybody to get their thoughts. We're gonna start with you because you said that it was a disappointment. So what was disappointing about it for you?
So just to lay it out, uh, just for anybody who might be watching this in the future, we are talking about Kamala Harris or Kamala. I found out today that they take real offense for saying her name wrong. I didn't know. I don't know which way to say it.
What's
it's
that?
Kamala.
Say
Kamala,
my
right?
name wrong all the time.
I say it wrong all the time too. I don't know how to say it,
We're
but
humans. So who gives a fuck if it's
I seen some shit earlier where they was like really offended. But anyway, dog, Kamala lost to Trump in a landslide
She got
election.
destroyed.
Yes.
They were saying it was neck and neck, and it
act
was
her
funny.
up?
I actually saw different news outlets that was like reporting on it differently. I think CBS or somebody was saying it was neck and neck, like it was super close, and then she got stumped after that. But
Well,
anyway,
that was leading up to it. They wanted you to believe at some point that it was neck and neck, but it was never neck and neck.
Derek, could you do me a quick favor and bring up the racial statistics on the voting?
Sure.
Because I do want to bring that into the fold. But yeah, she lost, man. What was the numbers?
She got blew up about damn near 75 electorals or some shit.
Yeah, I forget the raw numbers, but it was something. It was millions of people. It was like, was it tens
She
of
won
millions?
for starters, she won every swing state.
She did.
I'm sorry, he
I
won.
was about to say.
Yeah, he won every swing state, which nobody expected. But that was major. That was telling in itself. And then when you start to focus on the states that did actually vote blue, quote unquote, like New York, I think Cali was another blue state. All the places that are really fucked up. But we're gonna get to it. I'm pulling up the statistics now, but I really do want to start with Ojo. So he said he was disappointed by this election.
You know, I had hope, but damn, these motherfuckers they out here fooling.
Why you say that?
I just saw this one statistic, a Michigan based stat that said all these I don't want to get these people wrong. Let me see. It's either the Chaldeans or the whatever were upset that she didn't. No, not the Chaldeans. Let me
Middle
tell you about
Eastern.
that. They were basically saying her and Biden stands on what's going over there between Israel and Gaza, and her steadfastness on that agenda, not even to touch that topic or to bring somebody into the fold that's a familiar, I guess, chose them to basically, they thought she was just saying fuck them. So they was like, all right, we'll show you. We're all fucking with Trump. And now they like, oh shit, what do? We tried to show her. Now we're all about to get fucked in the ass.
Is that what you think is about to happen?
I'm just saying, this is what they're saying. It's literally.
So I remember the numbers. You found them stats.
I didn't find the ones that I really wanted to show.
Yeah, I saw some graphs or something, and they were basically
I
saying
don't like any of these.
the men, black men in mass voted for her. Black women did too. The Hispanics voted for him in large numbers. I think black men voted for her in like 88% of us. Hey, here's a question, bro. Here's a question. How the fuck do they know that? Because I thought our votes were supposed to be kind of like somewhat private. You know what I'm saying?
I don't know. I don't think they see your vote, but they
never private. I mean, if you really even just think about how they go about contacting you to vote, they know everything about you. So it's like, it's not hard that when they see your name on there, because you got to put your name on there because you got to sign it if you're sending it in, or if you show up in person, you still got to, you know what I'm saying? So I think a lot of the times too, they go by your demographic area of where you live. So a lot of that information that they're pulling out, they're pulling for these polls, they're pulling based on your geographical location of where you voted. And they're looking at the
but I still don't understand, how are you drawing that information? I mean, I guess
they go off names too, because they was trying to get at me hard because of my name.
And that's what I was about to say. When I was, we was all getting all them text messages all the last 3 months. I got text messages that weren't general text messages. They were like very specific to me.
They was coming at me like, Assalamu alaikum, Mr. Brazil. Because of my first name. They're like, Assalamu alaikum, Mr. Brazil.
One of the text messages
that way.
One of the text messages said that they was like, we see you didn't vote in 2022. We need you to get your ass out.
Do you know so this election, this is the first time I've ever heard this. They track, you have a scorecard for voting. Everybody personally has a scorecard for voting, and it tracks your percentage of votes. So if you didn't vote for the last 3 years, your voting rating goes down. If you voted for however many years, your voting rating is something. And they was promoting that hard as hell. I never knew that was. What's the point? I'm gonna go punch somebody in the throat because your voting rating is 30%. Like what?
What exactly does that mean? Does that mean that does your vote lose value because You know what I'm saying?
Right. I didn't
Yeah.
understand that stat anyway. Like, what is this for? So I can brag and say I got 100% voting rating?
All right, I'm gonna share my screen with a couple of stats or that I found, so we can get a closer look at exactly how the breakdown goes. You all see that?
Yes, sir.
Mhm.
So you got the 2024 candidates, coalitions among key demographic groups. Now you can see the age from 18 to 29, 17% Kamala, 15% Donald Trump. And then when you go down to race or ethnicity, you got white, overwhelmingly, obviously, 84% Trump, Harris, 66%. To me, that's still shocking, actually. But when you go over to the black, you see that the majority of blacks, Harris received that by 17%, Trump 3%. Latino, 8% Trump, 11% Harris, and other races. There you have it. Interesting stuff here for me. Location, urban, Harris. Suburban, 48%.
I don't
And
think those
rural,
stats are right.
That's where she
26%.
lost. That's where she lost.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Definitely.
That number for Trump had to be in the 30s. That's where she lost. And in all honesty, she lost the urban population also. If you look at the overall, I think the overall number of people who voted was down too.
It
I think
was.
I heard
It
that as
was
well.
down. It
Yeah,
was down.
She just
People
didn't pull the vote out. She just
didn't motivate people to
yeah,
want
she
to get
wasn't
out
I
and
was
get
about to
vote.
say the same thing. A lot of people were saying that she was doing more get back at him as opposed to pressing her own topics.
One of the things that I like that Brandon said when we were talking about this a couple of days ago was that he hopes that he's glad that they lost almost because he hopes that they get to learn from this loss. Because the
Mhm.
Democrats do a lot of pandering and they do a lot of minstrel show type shit to get your vote, and I don't think that's a good idea. I think niggas need to um, start listening.
We
They're
should
not
have.
listening.
She was kind of set up for failure. Biden should have quit a year ago,
Long time ago.
and we, as a people, we didn't get the opportunity to pick who we wanted to represent us
hmm
or the Democrats.
So, do you all think, those of you who voted Democrat, do you all think that if Biden had stayed and ran his campaign, do you think that he would have fared better against Trump than Kamala?
No,
No,
I think he
No.
was about to get stumped.
Okay.
No.
That's my personal opinion.
Just
Is it
wanted to
okay
know.
for me to ask?
he might have done a little. I don't know. No, I don't know. I think he would have got
I don't think
killed,
he gets
honestly.
blown out, but I still think he
Yeah,
loses.
I don't think he get blowed out that bad.
That's what I was gonna
So you
say.
think he does better than Kamala?
I
think
think so.
I think so. I don't think
I think it
it's
would
a
be
landslide as
yeah,
it was.
yeah.
It was a absolute landslide against Kamala's
You
party.
got Molly Wop.
Yeah, bro.
She-
Yeah. Once
it
I saw,
was- They
once I,
packed her up. It was not even a question to me of whether or not she was going to lose. It was just at some point it just became about how badly she was going to lose.
Out the gate, she was down like within the dog. Out the gate, he had her by like 50 electorals at all times. She could never close that cap, probably no closer than 50, if I'm not mistaken. It could have been something different, but that's what it seemed like to me.
I I knew she was in trouble when they called Florida at like 5 o'clock. I said, "Uh-oh."
Oh, they got it out the way.
I got it. I said, "Uh-oh."
Because Florida is usually they're like notoriously last a lot. Like,
well, even it's just how early it was.
Yeah.
That means they're overwhelmingly voting
Yeah.
for him.
Mhm.
And then on top of that, no Republican president has ever won without Ohio. And once they call once they call Ohio for a Republican president, it's over.
Mhm.
They need it's like a I don't know, it's like a what do you call it? A superstition or a ritual almost. They need Ohio. And
So
they
who-
called that early too. That wasn't even like it wasn't even a contest. Like there wasn't before California even come in. It didn't matter what California did, and I think
It
that's
damn near
the largest. That's the largest electoral state.
it just seemed like she wouldn't have been able to catch him no matter what because his lead was
didn't matter.
just
It didn't matter.
right.
It was like California came in. It was like bang down by 30. It was like
Right.
it didn't matter. It didn't matter. It didn't matter.
I was kind of surprised Michigan turned red.
That was another. That was another thing too.
That's
How you vote for Bernie? How you vote for Bernie and want what he was doing, and turn around and vote for Trump? That says a lot. It really is on the DNC. The reason why she lost. It is a top down organizationally. It is a failure from top down. Nancy Pelosi, all of them got everybody from top down. If you're born in the 30s, you should not be running a political party.
I agree.
You said if he was born in the 30s.
I'm laid out.
Not in 2024, you shouldn't.
Tika, you real quiet. Who was you pulling for?
I'm pulling for whatever the universe is gonna do, because the way that everything was being presented, like I want to do my own research. But then at the end of the day, like, what's real? Like, what are you really telling me that's true? So I turned into, like, let me just vote for what's in my city. Let me vote for something that's gonna literally touch me, because I feel like I don't have too many things that directly affect me when it comes to me being a veteran, or me being in school. I'm single. I don't have no kids. I got a chihuahua. So I was like, let me just. I own a home in Fort Worth, so let me vote for what's going on in my city. Because at the end of the day, I feel like they're gonna do what the fuck they want to do anyway, and put whoever people that puppeting whatever.
Now me and Red know a little bit more about you than everybody else. So let me know if I'm treading in waters that you don't want me to tread in, because I'm about to ask you a follow-up question to that. All right.
Okay.
Because you said that you felt like neither party really directly affected you in a way to where it would sway your vote in either direction, right?
Hold on. Not even in coming from a female standpoint.
Yeah, that's what I was about to get to.
That's what I was getting to.
Okay.
Well, for one, I'm not trying to have no kids.
But I think it's a little bit more than that.
That's
what? Tell me, what is it? And the thing is, like, I got to sit down and do all this research for myself, and at the end of the day, I don't really feel like
abortion and birth control is on the line.
How you feel about those?
I identify as I say pansexual, but right now I'm a lesbian, so I'm not really worried about that kind of thing.
Hey.
So
what about for the future? No plans.
I'm going on 37, and
I mean nothing.
Well, part of it is me. I don't really know if I want to bring a child into this world.
Okay.
This world, I don't know how long it's gonna be here, and it's just so much stuff, and I don't know. I feel like I'm working on so much stuff for myself, and I don't want to pass that on.
So let me just ask you this then, because I don't want to dogpile you or nothing, but you are definitely the only female in this panel, and I'm curious to know what it felt like for you, because what I saw on the internet, I don't know these people, but it was a whole lot of uproar about people being afraid. I literally saw people screaming and crying. Derek did a whole video on his YouTube about it, and I'm just curious, do you feel afraid? Are you worried? I mean, I know you said you're not worried about the abortion thing, but what about, see, the stuff that I saw, it wasn't necessarily about abortion. A lot of it was just generalized fear. It's like they think they're going to be held down and R-worded on a daily basis because he's going to somehow make a culture where that's okay. And I don't understand that. So what?
I don't know where. I don't know why would people have their imagination. That just sounds like a lot of imagination. Like, you just thinking of the worst case scenario because of what you think with him.
Well, here, look, I'm gonna play a clip for y'all so that you can see exactly what he was talking about, because this is what I've seen as far as the fallout from this, whether it's been on Instagram, Facebook, it doesn't matter. Social media across the board has been insane with the amount of fear that people have been exhibiting and showing. And again, I'm not big into religion, right? I don't know if any of you are, but these are so-called quote unquote people that are heavily into religion, or at the very least, they're heavily into believing in God, right? if you are heavily believing in God and what He can do for you and what He's going to do for you, then how is it that you allow the same fear to creep in and totally disrupt your life out of a book that's supposed to give you so much strength? But I'm gonna show you a video so you can get an idea of what I'm talking about. Just give me 1 second to pull it up. Here we go.
I'm scared to go to sleep. I might wake up a motherfucking slave.
You picked the worst stuff in the world to put on, bro.
They don't give
Y'all,
a fuck
like,
about the lady.
why are y'all Trump supporters? Like, why?
Hey, I feel it though.
What you mean by that?
You got on the bonnet and everything.
Why are y'all Trump supporters? Like, why is
What do you mean? Waking up
right
a slave would be
now?
terrifying.
I'm not the tears.
In 2024?
Yes, that's
got
even more
real scared?
terrifying. They got guns now.
Wait, hold on, pause it right quick,
I should have
Derek.
kept my vote.
What did you say, Brandon?
Huh?
What did you say? I want to hear what you said.
Yeah, you said something there. Something about waking up a slave.
Yeah, I feel her. Waking up a slave would be terrifying.
Yes, but why the fuck do you think that's about to happen?
I don't know. She
You
thrown it
went
out
through-
there, and I'm just saying I share that fear. All of a sudden, I'm scared.
You went through a Trump presidency already.
But the
If
thing
you
is,
didn't-
he
if you weren't a
said,
slave.
I'm scared to wake up a slave. And I didn't realize it, but I'm terrified of that too.
You don't think
Waking
this
up as a
time is
slave
gonna be
is
different?
scary.
Even though we went through this once, you don't
We
believe
already
it's
been
gonna be
through this.
different?
No, I'm just saying waking up as a slave. Just one day, you just show
Oh,
up
it's
the next day.
hypothetically, okay.
Yeah, you
All
just
right.
wake up.
All right.
That's what I'm
I
saying.
mean, of course it's terrifying, but how the fuck is that going to happen? Let me just put things into perspective. Black people are not as powerless as they once were. I'm not saying we are on the top of the hill, but it's not 1925 anymore. Niggas got money. We got guns too.
Or
Niggas got.
1861,
We
all right.
have land. We have communities and networks.
Man, they've been
Yeah.
poisoning us for years, bro. We got guns saying that don't even matter. It's his ability, what he has the power to do, being the president.
But every president has had the power to do that. Nigga, Lyndon B. Johnson was the president 60 years ago. He hated niggas in the 60s.
Yeah. He didn't like black people.
It's a lot of presidents that didn't like black folks.
Exactly.
And we still got slaves. Your parents wasn't a slave. Their parents wasn't a slave. I mean, that's so far from the.
I'm not even talking about that
Yeah.
aspect. I'm just talking about the being afraid of what he can do.
What
is
can
it that
he?
you? What is it that
What
you
can he
think
really
that-
do?
So, being the president, can he change the constitution to where there's no more voting for presidency? And he be the last president forever?
No, he can't. He can't do it.
It's way too many checks and balances in place for
He
him to be
can't
able
do
to do
it.
some
He
shit
got
like that.
everybody in his pocket right now.
He had everybody in his pocket in 2016.
Yeah. And you still here.
I don't think it was like that. I'm not
No, they
saying
had all
we
branches.
leaving.
They had all branches. They had all branches of the government back then. Remember, he nominated 3 justices in his first to go round. And he had the House and he had the Senate. He had it for what, 2 years? He had
Yes.
he had the majority in he had the Senate and the House for 2 years, and we still here.
It's not about we still here. It's the fear of the unknown.
What's the unknown?
This nigga's
Everything is the
the
unknown.
pedophile.
So wait. So are you thinking we're going to turn it to the Handmaid's Tale? That's what you're thinking?
No, it's not that. He's already it's the things that he's talking about that you don't know what else that he's capable of doing. So if you got a murderer, he's already capable of murder. So what's stopping him from being just a psychopath going out and just stabbing everybody up, little kids, everything?
I mean, you do know that he can't. He
He's not
he doesn't get to just bypass the
process.
Process, right? Just because he's the president, he still got to go and deal with. There's still a Supreme Court in office. There's still.
I understand all of that.
Okay, so
I understand all of that. Like I'm
so where is
saying,
this
it's
idea?
the fear of the unknown.
I
What
understand.
he's capable of.
Okay, but he
But what is he
was
capable of?
already. What is so different today? That was
No.
different, that was inherently different when he became president for his first term? What is so different today than when he first became president? He already had 4 years to do whatever, to ship y'all back to Africa.
Make you slaves again.
I'm not even talking about that.
Niggas are still here.
I'm not even talking about that. I'm just saying it's the fear of the unknown of what he can do.
Curry and LeBron was still in the finals that year.
You could say the same
Dog,
thing.
shut
And it should be that. Y'all should be afraid of the unknown of what he can do. Y'all not? If y'all not, then
I don't think you have nothing to fear.
No,
Be
no,
afraid of
here's the
anybody.
thing. Here's
I
the
have
thing.
absolutely nothing to
Be
fear.
afraid of me.
Right. What she
Because
just
you ain't
said is
seen a
the
part of
same way
me.
that I feel. Why are you saying it like Trump was the only one with the power to do some shit? I was afraid of what Kamala would do. If she was elected. I don't like none of her shit. So if she was elected, I would have had to worry about what is she going to start pushing on my children. See, that's a little more subtle. Those are like, it's like the under apocalypse. It's like the undercurrent of the apocalypse. It's not so surface level. It's not nukes and world-ending wars. It's destroying you from the inside out. It's insidious.
So
and that's what
you don't think he's capable of the same thing?
This nigga is very boisterous and he's very open about his agendas. He literally, this nigga's not in office. He's not going to take office for another 3 months, 2 months, 3 months. This nigga just did a speech and told us exactly what he wants to do. Did you watch the video? Hold on 1 second. I got you.
Oh my God.
10 key ideas that will power our movement for great schools. First, we will respect the right of parents to control the education of their children. Second, we will empower parents and local school board to hire and reward great principals and teachers, and also to fire the poor ones, the one whose performance is unsatisfactory. They will be fired. Like on The Apprentice, you're fired. Third.
That sounds great to you, huh?
What do you mean? What
That
do you
sounds
mean?
What's wrong with it?
I'm not saying there's anything wrong with it. You just play one little snippet. Okay,
I'm not done yet.
We will ensure our classes
There has been a
are
complaint
focused
about.
not
I'm
on
sorry.
political indoctrination, but on teaching the knowledge and skills needed to succeed. Reading, writing, math, science, arithmetic, and other truly useful subjects. Fourth, we will teach students to love their country, not to hate their country like they're taught right now. Fifth, we will support bringing.
Now, hold on. I wanna stop there because.
I don't know what that means.
So when he said he want to teach his people to love the country the way that they used to, basically all he's talking about is patriotism. And what I was going to bring up on that exact point, I want you to pay attention to the title on this video. This is from Now This. And they're clearly on one side versus the other. They said, this is not a plan to educate. This is a plan to indoctrinate. I understand the fear. My point is, what is wrong with indoctrinating people to be proud of where they're from? Because I can tell you from personal experience, I hate this motherfucker. I've been living here for 35, 36 years. I don't like America. I don't like having to feel that way. I'm a black man, so there's a whole other layer to that. Because of what's been done to all of us and what's been done to our parents and our grandparents and all of that going on and on and on. But if I'm just solely going on my own experience, I don't really enjoy America as much as I would like to. So if he can go forward and say, I want to bring prayer back to school and I want to give these people something to be proud of, what is wrong with that? Directly that. I'm not talking about everything else. But what's wrong with that?
Well, the prayer in school that goes against the Constitution.
Separation of
Man, I don't give a fuck about that. I don't give a fuck about that.
Yeah, you kind of do because that's what the founding fathers intended.
No, I don't give a fuck. I'm telling you, I don't.
I know you don't give a fuck, but the founding fathers and the Constitution.
The founding fathers is in the ground. Look at where we at.
Hear me out. Listen,
I've been waiting on this. Let's get it.
Okay, let's wait. Just wait. They came across on the, what was it, the Mayflower?
Yeah, nigga. All right.
They came across on the Mayflower to escape a monarchy, because once you start injecting religion into government, you get Iran.
Go ahead, step in that snare. Step in that snare.
I'm stepping in
The
it. I'm
snare,
here.
yeah, you are here. You're right.
Here.
Look at where we at.
I don't want to be under a king. I don't
Look
want
at where I don't want a king. We never said we was eliminating government.
But what I'm saying is, once you start to inject religion into,
Kind of are.
you're going
Just,
on that.
No.
The power isn't with the people anymore. In that instance, the power is no longer with the people. The power transfers to the individuals within government versus the people. When that happens,
my sister said, I'm gonna read this because I just noticed it. My sister said she's concerned about the continued prioritization of policies that benefit those above the middle class and the neglect and stagnating progress for those who are lesser below that level. I understand that. Rich Republicans are notorious for being for their friends, the rich motherfuckers.
So rich Democrats.
I understand that fear, but here's the thing. Trump did not say you will be required to practice a religion. When we was going to school, when we was kids in the 90s, did y'all have to pray in school?
No.
I had to pray in school every morning. Or we had to do the Pledge of Allegiance, and I remember
that's damn near the prayer.
Pledge Allegiance. Pledge Allegiance, and I remember prayer too. What's wrong with adding prayer to the school?
Church and state.
Yeah, what if you're not that religion?
Yeah, you're adding religion to a publicly, and on top of that, we are a melting pot of people.
Right.
Everybody isn't Christian.
Okay.
We have Muslims, we have Buddhists, we have Christians, we have Jewish, we have all these different people.
That's a fact.
There's so much, that's why you can't do that.
But what's the majority, Edward?
It would be Christian.
It is Christian.
But it's not like Iran, where 99% of people are Muslim.
Exactly. I know.
But
what I'm asking you
can't do that here. That's the difference.
What I'm asking you to do is look around, my nigga. What are you afraid of? You afraid of the prayer? I'm afraid of these niggas. You don't want to pray. I don't want somebody to walk in my son's school and shoot that bitch up. I'm not saying the prayer is going to stop that, but I'm saying if we centralize our motherfucking morality and we get back to something that is attached to morality, maybe we can eliminate all of this fucking, it's just like vigilante. It's just like wild, a wasteland. It's like motherfuckers is doing anything.
So you want less individualism.
I want niggas to be structured.
You want the Nation of Islam again. That's what you
want. No, I don't
say.
want the Nation of Islam because guess what?
The structure, the framework. I'm not saying actually be clapping at the same time at temple. I'm not saying that.
But what I'm saying,
you want the framework. You want respect.
I want the framework. I want structure. I want niggas to be held accountable. I want niggas to be afraid of their elders. I don't want to do something stupid in this classroom. Nigga, when me and Derek went to the same elementary school, we had a teacher named Miss King. You remember her? Miss King was the old crazy lady. She did not fuck around. Third grade. Miss King was the type of nigga that if you didn't do what she said, she's throwing her eraser at your bitch ass.
Yep.
I like Miss King. I like her.
Now, this is what I'm saying. I know it's wild. When we was in third grade, I didn't even have her as a teacher. I actually was across the hall from her. But my homeboys, it was funny as fuck. They would get out of class and they'd be like, dogs, like she threw a eraser at me or she grabbed me up or she pinched me. Or it's like Miss King is not taking that bullshit. And when you go in Miss King class, you not playing.
I mean, I was in school where teachers was whooping kids.
Right.
Back in my day.
Right.
Yeah, I missed that by a couple of years. I missed that.
I mean, but Miss
King
was...
it depends. Like it depends on how he's trying to set all that up, not make it like a cult or some shit. Like I think it just depends. But I understand the structure for sure. Like, so when you get out, you can structure your fucking life, how you handling shit. But I think it just depends on how he's putting that together. Like, can we still kneel when you're doing the national anthem at games? Like,
right?
I mean, still not kneel. Like,
no,
I'm not saying.
So, is it like to make you so proud of your country that you have to?
Right.
You have to do this. Like,
it is a fine line, but we already on a fine line, or let's say slippery slope. It's a slippery slope when you start talking about ruling with an iron thumb and pushing your agenda so hard that it almost squashes anything that opposes it. I'm not advocating for that. I'm advocating for the structure. I want people to be tied to something that has morals in it. And right now, y'all saying we a melting pot and everybody don't abide by this and everybody don't abide by that. It's nothing wrong. See, a thing that people are forgetting is that if there was a person that was religious that didn't want to partake in some sort of religious, let's call it I don't know, let's just say a religious event, right? If, like my homeboy, my best friend, Joseph, he is a Jehovah's Witness. So people like him, when we would be celebrating Christmas in the classroom, he literally would leave. His parents would communicate with the teacher and say, yeah, we don't believe in that, so if y'all ever doing something like that, take them somewhere else. And they would do that. That's America. It's not saying we just going to opt to do nothing because we're a melting pot. No, we still should be tied to something and allow people to opt out and do things their way if they see fit. Because no, we are not 100 or 99% Christian, but we are a majority Christian. So why would we not serve the interests of our own people? Here's another example of that, though. They're trying to demonize white men and say white men didn't like the idea of not being the center of attention. My nigga, they outnumber everybody else by large numbers. Why wouldn't they be mad if they were not being served? That would be like me being in the house. Okay, me and my wife in the house, and my homeboy come over and she's serving this nigga dinner, but she don't give me none. I have majority stake in this motherfucker. I'm gonna need some dinner. So when I say we are a majority Christian, why would Christians not want the country to look like what they do?
Why am I letting some random white motherfucker teach my kids morals when they're learning that at home? They should be learning that. They should be there to learn. That's really it. It's my job to teach you what you're supposed to be like as a person. I don't know why I'm supposed to trust this random school who's underpaid and may not have the same integrity or, values as me. I'm not sure.
I understand what you're saying, but
that's a slippery slope too, though.
What I was about to say was, what you're saying sounds good on paper, my nigga, but I got 2 kids in this room right here.
Yeah.
They go to school. They got to be taught something in that motherfucker other than just math. 1 + 2 is 3. And then how to read this word, these sight words. Fuck that. I want this man in my class to teach my son how to conduct himself in an environment. Here's my son right here after I just asked him 1,000 times not to interrupt. What's up, brother?
So now you asking a whole bunch of these teachers. You want him to.
That was me.
Yeah. I mean, it's the village take. I mean, it's the village. It takes a village construct to raise a kid. You know what I'm saying? So I do understand that. Like, I think we were talking the other day about not knowing your neighbors. Who said that?
Me.
Yeah, that was you. Not knowing I don't know my neighbors.
It sounds good on paper, but what you guys are presenting it's already been done for the last 30 years, and look at where we at.
Yeah.
That's what
y'all saying. Let go. Stop putting morality and it's like consciousness in the school. But we are living the nightmare that you're proposing right now, my nigga. It's already here before you. We have the results. I'll be happy as hell when I pull up to my son's school to drop him off and there's a male presence is mixed with a female presence. When I found out that his teachers were 2 old black women, I jumped for joy because I know they're tied to a time that was structured better than this time. Instead of his teacher being 19 and all she know is Lil Durk
and twerking.
Right. Both of my son's teachers are 2 old black women. One of them got dreads and the other one, she looked like she know how to make some motherfucking cornbread. I fucks with that.
Okay.
Let me ask you a question. Have you ever at any point wanted children?
Yes.
You did at some point?
Yeah, just natural, I think desire. Something on a little me.
So we talking like maybe is this like 15 years ago or longer than that?
Maybe recent, maybe the last few years, and then
Oh,
things
really?
change.
Okay.
Hmm.
What changed your mind?
I think when I figured out I had a lot of trauma and shit going on, and then the person that I was with, we just had a lot to figure out. Like, well, this may take a lot longer than I might want to have a safe
Get your ass in
place.
here.
Because right now it might just be like, okay, well, if I'm single, it might just be just me. Like, but I don't know
Yeah.
if I want to. It's just like a whole.
Taylor is here, and I'm
Yeah.
glad she's here.
Unmute your
because
mic, Taylor.
I had something to ask her when she had that question. You said that you was concerned about what? Go ahead and read that again. What was she concerned about?
I could tell you, or y'all want to read it verbatim.
Oh no, go ahead. You here? You can speak for yourself. Go ahead.
My concern is the focus being on the top and keeping us middle class or poor class where we are, stagnant. Not going anywhere is scarier than moving in any direction to me, because we're not moving at all. So we don't know what's right, what's wrong, what policies work. They focusing more on the top than
No
working in the
candidate, no candidate has really focused on the low class. They
Yeah.
always talk about middle class.
middle class.
Oh,
Yeah.
only thing
Okay.
I would say to that, how is that their job to address that? How does the president influence that when he really has no control over that? In all honesty, it's really tied to business. Business determines how what the economy does. Like the economy. One of the reasons why Kamala lost was because of the economy, right?
Absolutely.
And it has nothing to do with her. It had nothing to do with Biden. It's factors from around the world. Anything geopolitical around the world is what made the economy do what it does. It's like, well, what could Biden do? You were there for 4 years. What did you do to make the economy better? Well, I mean, I can't just tell the Fed to give everybody money. I can't just say Microsoft go hire everybody. I mean, what can a president really do? What can he really do
See, I think this is a
on a year-to-year
loaded.
basis?
If anybody else
Nothing
wants
we
to,
do.
So what can he do to do what specifically?
What can the president, the position, what can the president do to make a recession, a recession? Because we're in a recession. We've had a recession is 2 negative quarters. We've had 6 in a row. So what does a president do to be like, hey, we can go from a dipping economy to a booming economy? What can they do? And that's what I'm trying to understand. So the only issue I have with that statement is like, what is Trump going to do to influence that? Because he rode Obama's economy. That's what he did. He rode Obama's economy. And if it wasn't for COVID, he probably would have won again.
I do have a question. I got a follow-up question for you, Taylor. So, because I'm assuming you voted for Kamala, right?
I didn't vote
Okay.
for any president.
I understand it.
Okay.
I understand it.
So, for anybody that voted for, anybody can answer this. So, for anybody who went Democratic or voted Democratic this term, what is it about Kamala's campaign package that you saw that personally made you feel like her running it for the next 4 years was going to uplift the economy and put the lower class into a better position?
I don't think that she was going to put the lower class in a better position, because her focus was on the middle class.
Or the middle class. What did you see that she was going to do? What policies did you see that told you that she was about to lift the middle class up into a better position?
None. That's why I didn't vote.
Everybody just say that because it sound good.
Yeah.
That's like
it's like a regular talking point.
Right. Everybody says that shit.
But what did she say specifically? Because I've watched a lot of her. Because what did she say specifically that would help the middle class?
Here's why I'm asking, right?
I think she said something about making housing more affordable.
Yeah,
How she gonna do that?
This is what she said she was going to do.
I don't know how you can do that.
She said that she was going to build 3 million new homes. We do not have a shortage of homes.
No, we don't.
We have a shortage of income.
Hold on, and just to supplement what you're saying, remember she said something about giving out stipends for home, or at least for first home buyers.
For first-time
home buyers.
$25,000.
Right.
That's
So
already been in place. That's
what I was going
to
right, and what I was going to say was, regardless of that, if you put a padding, okay, here's the economy, the base economy. If you put a padding on it of $25,000, then all you're going to do is just inflate everything by $25,000.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
That's just how they do in the stores. Once it's a sale, all they doing is adjusting them prices.
That's it.
Yep.
So what it's really is, from what I was hearing. So here's my experience of going to vote. Like I said, we haven't really done any media since the election. It's been 2 weeks now, 3 weeks or something. But so I literally was leaving the studio, and I was walking down the stairs like, I think I'm about to go vote, but I was like, I couldn't do it. I called my dad. I'm like, man, did you vote? He like, yeah, you know I did. I'm like, who you vote for? Told me who he voted for, and I'm like, he voted for Kamala. I'm like, I don't like nothing about her at all. And then my other choice is this nigga. So I'm like, what do? He told me his spiel. I went to the voting polls, and I'm like, mean mugging niggas. Fuck all y'all. Don't look at me. Stop trying to talk to me. Because I'm mad as hell that I got to make this fucking decision. Don't fucking talk to me. Niggas like, hey, how you doing? Like, nigga, I'm doing fucking terrible right now. Don't talk to me. Nigga trying to make eye contact like, no, nigga, no. So I stand in this stupid ass line, and I sit there, and I literally stare at my paper like, and what I told niggas was, I voted for her as much as I hate her. I voted for her for this nigga here. This nigga with the white headset on his head. I voted for her for my mama. Because
you voted for her because she's the lesser of two evils?
No, because she isn't the lesser of two evils. If we can get to that. I don't want to spend this whole episode talking about the election, but she ain't the lesser of two evils. She's just the most palatable evil that we have to choose from.
Well, that's at equivalent to the lesser of the two evils.
No, she's palatable because all of her agendas are hidden beneath her lies.
And she's not a felon.
And she's not a felon, right? But what I was going to say was, me and Ojo had a conversation literally the day before, 2 days before the election. He told me some of his concerns. My mother was very up in arms about some of her concerns. So when I went, I didn't vote for me. I voted for y'all. And it didn't feel good because I don't like her. And I think that's how most of the country felt, except the people who were like super hard Trump supporters, but which was a lot of people apparently.
I see, man, my neighborhood. Whew.
But it didn't feel good. I almost didn't vote for the president either. I really was there voting for those for the Michigan. There was 2 things on the ballot for the Michigan school budgets. One was like an increase in taxes.
Gave some more money?
Yeah. You didn't?
Nope.
Why?
Because where the fuck is all this lottery money allegedly going to?
Yeah, that's a good question.
Why y'all need more money all of a sudden?
So when I was standing
around with this money,
when I was literally standing, the little booth they stand up so you can vote. I was literally standing in there, and I called a homegirl. She's a judge. I mean, she's a lawyer. I called her because I wanted basically a cheat sheet on all of the, she's in and out of these courtrooms between Oakland County, Wayne County, whatever, the Tri-County area, and she knows these judges personally. So I called her like, who on that bullshit? Who should I not vote for? Who should I vote for? She ran it down to me. I voted on the school stuff, but when I got to the president thing, I didn't know what to do. But as far as the school things, the realization that I had in that moment is that me and you and anybody that live in Detroit, we need to start going to these fucking city council meetings, my nigga.
And these PTA meetings.
That question that you had is something that you could literally ask the city council.
I definitely was thinking about that. And another thing I was wondering was how are some of these suburban schools looking like Georgia Tech University, and the other schools is looking like Cooley High.
If you cross over to 9 Mile and you ride 9 Mile left and right, them high schools are big as fuck.
Right, it should look like Georgia Tech. Friday Night
big as
Lights in
hell.
this boy. They got full stadiums, all that bleachers, all of that AstroTurf, man. Like I don't know if it's the boosters giving them bread,
That's
or
part
if
of
it's
it.
or if it's less people per capita, and they focusing and they got more students in the school, and we just got too many. I don't know how they divvying up this bread, but Detroit has it all wrong.
I can tell you how, because I live in a pretty predominantly I live in a pretty predominantly white area. I live in a suburb in outside of Augusta, Georgia, and they recently had a fundraiser for a new playground. New playground. They asked the school. I mean, the school asked parents for $40,000 for a new playground for an elementary school. They had it in less than a week.
I bet they got double that shit.
But this is from the parents. The parents are donating. The parents are giving money. The parents are footing the bill. Every time there's something that happens, anytime something that happens with the school, they ask the families, and they pay them.
In your neighborhood. So I'm guessing, what's average household income? Above 200?
Probably.
Mm-hmm.
But okay. But I would say this though, where the average income is higher, where I live, you have more people in urban areas. Like even if it's just $1, even if it's $2 over time, like just imagine if I don't know if everybody in the city of Detroit just gave $1 every paycheck towards the school district.
Yeah, but how you gonna expect somebody to give $1 if they sending them kids to school to eat and that's their only meal they getting?
I mean, well, the rubber got to meet the road somewhere. I don't know how. I can't speak for other people's income, and I'm not going to do that. But I was just saying, we can find $1, we can find a quarter on the street. Like it's all about investing in the kids and investing in the infrastructure for our kids to learn.
Should be. You would think it would be. Definitely.
I mean, there are people that would take up the slack. I mean, once I saw it, like it was mind blowing to me. Once I saw how they just came up with that money so fast. It was different.
If you niggas is finding money to put your kids on Jordans, you can find $1.
I wasn't gonna go there. I wasn't gonna go there, but it was in my mind. I didn't want to go there.
To the school.
I understand what you're saying, totally. Yeah. But
these niggas got iPhone 16s, the Max with the 1 terabyte.
They got better than
the ladies went MCM to school.
I mean,
I'm not hearing that shit.
People got their priorities fucked up.
Little girls' hairs be laid, all done up. The boys come in, haircuts, earrings in their ear, Gucci this on, Prada that on. No, hell no.
They going to prime Rolls Royces.
Y'all just don't want to do it.
They going to prime Rolls Royces.
Now, if my kid's school said something personally, I definitely would give. But me giving to other schools and other school districts where I'm not participating in them, I'm not doing that.
Well, it's more so of a district-wide thing. It's better for the school district if everybody whose kids go to the school district donates to the school district, because that way, that's how you do it. Like you gotta, not to say piecemeal it, but you kind of gotta like build it. So it's like this year you focus on the gymnasium, and this year you focus on the library, and this year you focus on the recording studio, you focus on the engineering section. That's how you do it. That's how you got to do it.
I got two grammar schools by me. Mm-hmm. One my kids go to, and it's another right down the block. This past summer, I know it had to be some hundreds of thousands, if not close to an M. They built them a front awning, is the only thing I can say it is, in front of the school. Why are you spending that much bread building a damn concrete awning, beautifying the school, when I know these kids need something other than that.
Like, does school have like central air and
I don't know. My
AC?
kids don't go there, but I guarantee it's some shit that school need.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I'm just getting at it's just a prioritization of what is needed.
So
for the
that
school.
principal should
And
have been
that
smacking his
can be
ass.
applied to everything that we go through, especially in urban areas. That can be applied to everything because
So
we're not
while we're
prioritizing the right thing.
Shout out to Pocket Watching with JT. I just wanted to
Definitely.
showcase that comment.
Definitely want to shout him out. Appreciate you watching, my bro. Appreciate the support always. But while we're here on this subject, so how does everybody feel about the destruction of the DOE? For those that don't know, Donald Trump said that one of the first things that he was going to do when he got in office was basically take all the money from the third party that the government has funded money to in order to lord over this program of the DOE. And he's basically going to eliminate that entire program, therefore giving money back to the local branches of government over these schools. That way they remove some of these federal mandates across the board that are probably outdated and have been in place for 60 fucking years.
Yeah.
How do you all feel about him? What other people would say is attacking the DOE and getting rid of the DOE.
So let me just say this before, as a preface, before anybody goes. The concern earlier, one of you stated it, was that you're afraid that he's trying to make himself a king. He's trying to make a monarchy. How could he be making a monarchy when he's eliminating government? The DOE is a federal organization. He's eliminating their ability to control the education.
Yep.
He's eliminating power from his own wheelhouse.
Yep.
So if he's saying, I would rather put that power back, it's the same thing he did with Roe v. Wade.
Yes.
Because while we're talking about all of these things the government isn't or is supposed to be doing, the government is never supposed to be the ones governing the ability for women to have abortions. It's supposed to belong to the states, not the federal government. So for him to say, or whoever did it, get the fucking Roe v. Wade shit out of here, it wasn't him, but it was one of the justices he appointed, right, that did it, Edward?
What?
That eliminated the Roe v. Wade. That made the Roe v. Wade
decision. I mean, it was the justices he
appointed, right? So it was essentially him by way of the people that he appointed.
Yes.
But this DOE thing is another way of him saying, I don't want shit to do with it, but also when you're making decisions about shit from a distance, it's like me telling you how to govern your household in Georgia. I don't know what the fuck you need.
But see, that goes directly to what you were saying earlier about uniformity. That goes directly against what you're saying. Because what's going to end up happening is when you leave it up to the states will interpret things their way. And that's what you don't want. You don't want somebody from Mississippi saying, hey, slavery didn't exist.
Yeah,
you don't want
everybody pressing their own agenda.
Yeah, that's what you don't want. You don't want that because it's going to happen in 30, 40 years. Some kid is going to come up to you and say, there weren't no slaves. They wasn't raping black women and raping black men and separating families and doing all that type of stuff. That's going to happen. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm sorry, R word. Sorry. They're going to be R wording kids and all that type of stuff. They're going to be able to say that. Those kids are going to say that.
Okay.
You're going to be able to trace it back to that. There's no, I mean, tell me if I'm off. Tell me that.
Hold on. Because you're basically saying that this is going to eradicate or somehow erase history.
Yes, because they're going to manipulate it, and you know they are. You know they're going to manipulate it.
Listen, everything is manipulated from this point on until the end of time. That doesn't mean that history. Listen, history books are not going to disappear. The internet is forever. You can go anywhere on Google and look up some shit and find out that your great granddaddy was a slave. That is a terrible, terrible excuse.
Do you think white people are looking up slavery, like just for the fun of it?
Who's looking up slavery? No, hell no. I didn't look up slavery for the fun of it.
But if they don't know about it, why would they even look it up?
Why is it important for them to know about it?
So that's exactly what I'm about to ask. Let me jump in.
Why do you think it's important? Why do you think it's?
Why is it important for us to know about it?
That's talking basically
Why
about
is
your heritage and your lineage.
Yes,
But here, hold
Okay.
on.
Okay.
Stop it right there.
Okay.
You
yeah,
said
stop right there.
our history and our lineage. You know how I know a lot of the history about our people? Because my fucking father told me.
Mhm.
Not because my teacher told me.
Absolutely.
So what Brandon said earlier is that he don't want to leave morality up to the teachers. I think you have the right idea about the wrong subject. The things that you want are your children to know about your lineage should be up to you to teach them that.
But
Because it's not American history. I mean, it is American history because it happened in America. But if you're saying it's so important for your children to know that we come from slaves, that's your responsibility to tell them that.
I agree, but
They're gonna leave shit out anyway.
But you
They
got
don't just
books
Yes,
and
they
shit
are.
that were saying that
They are.
black people came over from Africa as helpers.
Okay, now if you be disingenuous about the information, that is a different story.
But that's going to
But
happen.
that's
though.
what, yeah.
That's gonna
Okay,
happen.
But that's a hypothetical.
No, it happened.
It's not a
though.
hypothetical. It's happening.
You're saying that
It's
it happened in
happening now.
Florida. You're
Look
talking
at-
about Florida.
But look at Louisiana. Look at Mississippi. Look at Alabama. Even look at Georgia. They are just now in Georgia. They're already starting to outlaw books. Certain books.
What did
They're
this
doing it
conversation
right
start
now.
about? This particular conversation started about what? The
Eliminate-
DOE, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The DOE. What does this have to do? What does that have to do with this?
Because the DOE is the Department of Education deals directly with the education of students.
So you think the most important pressing topic that the DOE should govern is slavery?
No, that's not that's not
Exactly.
What we're saying.
So
That's not what
let's
we're
talk
saying.
about the fucking issue.
So should they teach? So should we be
So why did
taking?
they create
what's the
schools in the
issue
first
then?
place?
So
What was the
right.
purpose of
So
schools
should
in
we
the
be
first place?
learning? So we'll be learning about Romeo and Juliet and all of them. Are they important? Are they teaching that shit?
What do you mean?
I'm sorry. Say that again.
Yeah, slavery,
So-
exactly. Say it again. Say
So
it again.
should we be
please.
learning about Romeo and Juliet or the 1819 war against the Indians or any of that kind of history? Is history
Louisiana
not important?
Purchase? Should we learn about that? Should we learn the Spanish-American War?
What did Tika
Yeah.
just
Learn
What did
about
Tika
the
just
Civil
say a minute
War.
ago? Tika said all of this shit fake anyway.
Yeah, they
Hist-
putting us in
hist-
school for them benefit anyway.
History
I mean,
belongs to
okay.
who? History belongs to who?
The victor.
The
We
victor.
know that.
The
So
victor.
what is we
understand
talking
that.
about?
We
You
understand that. We understand that. But what we're saying is, like for instance, we're all in our 20s and 30s. We're going to be 70 in the future, and then we're going to look back and based upon how the Department of Education is moving right now, they're going to be like, no, they didn't wear a mask back in 2020. That's stupid. We're going to look back like, wait a minute, they did do that.
Who
We
gives a
did. We
fuck?
went through that.
I
I'm
would
just giving an
rather.
example, not the actual
Oh,
thing.
God.
I'm giving an example of it. Like they're
Are
going to be
you-
able to change
wait,
history.
So let me ask you a
They're
question.
gonna be able
Let
to
me ask,
change
pictures.
history.
let me ask you a question, Everhart.
What's up?
And this go for you too, Jay. Are you teaching your kids that we are the first people, we are the creators of mathematics, we are the true kings, we created all of this shit? If
I
it wasn't
will.
to us,
I will.
you say you will. What you waiting on?
I've already taught my kids some things, but they're not quite old enough to grasp all of those concepts. I know from
Oh.
experience because I've already tried teaching them certain things. So
What
I
about you,
will,
Everhart?
meaning when they get older and understand it.
What about you, Everhart?
Am I teaching them what now?
That we are the first people. We created mathematics. We were the first people to do all of this shit.
No,
That's not important.
it's not important to me. It's not important to me for them or their life or their trajectory. How does that help them? How does that help you knowing that you were the first of something?
To me, that gives you pride and
Pride.
strength.
To
Knowing
you,
what you-
it may give you pride and strength.
That's what I just said. To me,
Okay, to you, but to these kids that I see
I'm
today,
not talking about these kids. I'm talking about your kids.
to my kids, that doesn't appeal to my kids. Are 13, 7, and I have an 18-year-old. The 18-year-old is not worried about if we were the first creators of anything. Honestly, that's not the age that we're in. We would all love for all of our kids to be Dr. Sebi kids and be out here learning that we were the first aboriginals. We was the first. These kids don't give a fuck about any of that. I would rather my kid learn about what he needs to survive, how to be how to be an adult that is able to give something back to this universe, who is able to sustain himself. That's what I care about. I don't care about all that other shit. I don't.
So let's take a page.
How is that going to help him survive?
Let's take a page out of survival from Trump 101. Stab everybody in the back you can, and do backroom deals and all of this shit. That's the path.
What do you mean by that?
So to me, when you're teaching your kids where they came from and empowering them, I think it's empowering them to do greatness.
Okay, but that you can teach them. So you're saying unless you teach them that's you can't teach them.
I'm not. No, that's not what I'm saying.
But that also doesn't say that you don't also teach them morals. You don't also teach them ethics. Those things also empower them to not stab somebody in the back, to not be out here taking advantage of their friends, to not be out here taking advantage of a system, or take all those morals, ethics. Those come with being a parent generally. I don't need them to know that they was the first or something for them to learn ethics and morals. That's just human standards that we should be teaching our children anyway. So I don't
ethics and morals are just human standards that we should be teaching our kids
in a society. Absolutely.
Yes, absolutely. So I don't need for them to know, them knowing that they was the first, or that they came from a race that was the first to do some shit, and they can't take that shit nowhere and put it on a resume. They can't take that shit nowhere today and put it on the resume.
I think it might be helpful.
Nobody's gonna hire your ass when you walk in there and tell them, look, I got a resume. I came from a race that was the first to do this. And they're gonna say, great, what can you do for my company?
It's for self. I feel like it's for self-empowerment. So you can add that to morals and ethics. So it's just kind of like, oh yeah, I see this white man over here doing this, but yeah, I came from this, so I know I have it in me to do greater if I'm doubting myself. So I feel like in addition to
that. Yeah, absolutely. I agree.
Yeah, so if it just in case it help, I feel like you could just throw that in there just in case they gonna latch on. Put this in my pocket.
Especially if you're being told like you ain't did nothing, or y'all ain't doing nothing, y'all just monkeys, or y'all just did this.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? It's
who was telling them that though?
Somebody.
You don't think it's
so you don't think that there are races that make black people feel lesser than?
Wait, hold on. I see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 people at least on this live right now that have children. Have any one of your children ever came home and said to y'all, we was told today that we ain't nothing but monkeys?
Yes.
All right, then I stand corrected. You got the one kid that came.
These white kids use nigga a lot. They say nigga and they use hard.
That's not what I asked you.
I'm just saying, but I'm saying the pathway to disrespect.
Yeah, that's
racism.
I'm not I'm not talking. You see, you're separating the issue. I'm not talking about them dealing with racism. They can't escape that. What I asked you was basically, have they been told by someone who was in a teaching position that they was monkeys? No. So that's not a problem that overarching kids are facing. That's not something that I would rather focus on. I would rather focus on other things that my children can utilize today. That shit don't do nothing for me. That don't move me. That shit that we was the first, we need to focus on that. We was the first black ones. That's great. Can you use that shit to get a 6-figure job somewhere? If not, no, I don't care about that shit. That's me.
I think history is important to me, but I'm not relying on the school to put that into my children. I already know all the shit that I need to know in terms of that to put into my kids. You know why? Because my dad put it into me and my sister. When all the shit that he told me, and
hold on. How did it make you feel knowing that?
Me personally, it gave me a sense of what is true and what isn't, because my father would tell me things from what they're saying about this person is bullshit. Like, we learned about Malcolm X in elementary school. They lied about all that shit, so it was pointless because I had to go back and relearn all the things about Malcolm X.
Of course, because this is not set up to tell the truth about us.
And so if what you're saying is true, then the DOE was responsible for lying to me about Malcolm X and Martin Luther King. Because I remember literally being in
I think it's
kindergarten
way
or
deeper
preschool.
than the DOE to set
It's
up
way
that
deeper.
shit.
You're right. Absolutely. But I remember being in preschool, literally looking at a picture of James Earl Ray shooting. It was like a color book picture.
Mm-hmm.
James Earl Ray shooting Martin Luther King. And then you come to find out that all that shit is a lie. So what is we talking about? I don't want the school to be teaching my kids about slavery. And then first of all, we ain't no motherfucking slaves. Because what you just said is you went back to the beginning and we was the first to do mathematics. Why am I teaching my kids like, oh, we come from slaves? I made a mistake in one of the interviews I did, one of my artists, and then I said something, I said the term, we come from slaves. And he stopped me and said, no, we don't. Because that shit is a blip in time of our history. Black people have been on this motherfucker for tens of thousands of years. And we talking about slavery that lasted for quite a long time if you're talking about the scope of what we deem to be long or short. Very important in our history and how it has shaped us through these last 4 or 5 centuries. But it isn't our story, my nigga. That's not something we got to put in our pocket and carry with us at all times. You said, am I going to teach my kids about these things? Absolutely. I'm going to teach them all that shit. Right now, they don't give a shit because all they care about is Fortnite. Their brains ain't even there yet. But when it's time to do that, I got a whole slew of shit we gonna talk about. And I have it from an even deeper understanding than my father had it. Because he was the stepping stone for me. He told me here, and then I found out a bunch of shit that he don't know. So
Another
when
thing,
go ahead.
Another thing that the DOE does is the destruction of the DOE does, because when you federally mandate something across the board, that means that every school, every teacher everywhere has to follow this subset of rules in order to teach kids, because they believe that this system is the best system universally. It does not account for culture. It does not account for any of that. So the very thing that you're advocating for would not be in favor of having the DOE continue to run the way it has been ran for the last 60 years. Because when I was in school, I don't know how it was when you was in elementary school, but when I was in elementary school, I remember the Miss Kings. I remember the Mrs. Moreland, which was my 4th grade teacher. Miss Moreland was not playing no shit, but she had a entire back room, which was a library, that she took kids in, and she could tell us all these different stories about history and stuff like that. You cannot do that as a teacher today. You will be fired for some shit like that. So the DOE is probably one of the worst things that ever happened to Black kids, if you're on that whole thing of it's important for our kids to learn this, that, and the other, because teachers cannot individually teach kids about that shit no more. That's not in the school book code nowhere. They can't do that. That's not in the curriculum. They got to follow the curriculum.
2 days ago, my son came home with a coloring page of Duke Ellington. And he was like, look at what I drew. Look at what I colored today. Look what I drew today. And I'm like, that's Duke Ellington? He was like, yeah. We came home. You know, we were settling in. I was watching TV. I think it was that Kevin Hart show. And that show is set in like the 60s or 70s. They mentioned Duke Ellington. My son goes, did she just say Duke Ellington? It was Taraji. Did she just say Duke Ellington? So he knows something. I don't know what they teach him, but what I think is going on in terms of like teaching about these Black figures is they either have to talk about people who are not so polarizing or militant in their stance.
And that all comes in with the so you got to understand too, the teacher has to feel or have a certain view on what she wants to express to these kids as well. Because not only are they following the program, but a teacher is going to weave her own little stuff in there as well, no matter what.
Yeah. And I don't know what the protocol for that type of stuff is, but look, just in terms of talking about the DOE, I'm gonna be totally transparent here. I don't know all of the things that the DOE are responsible for controlling or injecting into our curriculum or whatever, but the way that I see it is if they do eliminate the DOE and it comes down to the individual schools to decide what they will teach. I look at my son's school, all these Black kids coming in here, all these Black men and women who teach and work here can now say, okay, well, this is what's important to us. We're literally on 6 Mile in Detroit in a neighborhood that is historically saturated with history. All these characters, from Motown singers to activists to whoever you could name, lived right around this neighborhood. That's important to us. Let's teach it. As opposed to being held by the neck by the DOE saying you can only talk about this, this, and this. And then not only that, but you have to teach things this way, this way, this way. I mean, Edward, do you believe in standardization all across America for stuff like that? Is that important to you?
Kind of is.
Why is that?
Because I think that personally, I think that we need a base to where we all can start from. Because when we start having these conversations about history and just things like that, just having history or science or world affairs or just anything in general, we need to have a same starting point, because a lot of times we get into these discussions with people and we're having facts and then they have different facts, and then we kind of like the, I don't know how people feel about the flat earth thing, it's whatever, right? However, whatever side of the argument you feel about it, that's a prime example of we don't have the same, we're not having the same starting point when it comes to these discussions.
I understand
right?
that.
So that's the only thing I'm worried about that, because once you give it back to the states, you could possibly have 50 different education. You could have 50 different
yeah, I got what you're saying.
knowledge
Ideologies,
bases.
right.
And that's even more fracturing.
Yeah, I
we're
get
already
that.
tribal already. We're already not just in region, but we're also in states. So we're going to get even more splintered, because somebody from New York is going to have a totally different view than somebody from New Mexico.
I actually agree with that.
So it needs to be some level, because I wholeheartedly agree with you in terms of the standardization, in terms of the framework of uniformity. Like there needs to be that, but the other side of that is we're China and we have a social credit system, not just a credit score, but like how much patriotism have you done today? Like it becomes a slippery slope when it comes to dividing the knowledge base. Like, yeah, the internet is a great leveler, but it also can divide, and getting rid of DOE is going to divide us even further, just in a different way.
All right, I'm gonna make an executive decision here, and we're going to transition into something else. All right. So we got family matters transitions, nigga. Fuck y'all. That's how we doing shit over here, nigga. But no,
and cancel so hard and fast.
We're gonna do let's switch to something that we can argue about gender, because I'm ready to get about. I want to argue about that too.
Where's the Birdman hand rug? Bring that up.
It's loading now. Give it 1 second.
Is that it? Is that the finish? The children and you want to stay at home? What is that it?
But Anton, isn't that what?
Let me finish.
This is the thing, though. You're trying to come up with like a masculine checklist of like what a woman can do for you. When we're talking about masculine, feminine, the masculine does. The feminine is. So as a woman, I innately have value. As a man, you have to show up and prove to me what your value is. That's the deal. Women innately have value. Sorry if you don't like it, but that's just the reality of it. We exist in this world with innate value. As a man, you're the one that has to
wait.
Okay. You're worthy of me carrying on your seed. That is literally what you have to do. Are you going to actually take care of your kids? You're going to take care of. I can make another you. Like, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
So you think that in this society, we both in our 40s, I'm assuming, is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay. You think that in this society you have more value than I do?
Yeah.
You are smoking crack.
No.
Oh, Jesus.
Okay, so the topic is scrolling across the bottom for anybody who
God.
is confused about the talking point. But I thought that was I was watching that episode. I was actually watching that whole live stream that they did. And
did you see what was scrolling at the bottom of that screen?
What is it?
Ebony K. Williams says women should choose their
single. Oh yeah. They were talking about her going to the sperm bank to get her children versus finding a husband, because just recently before that, she was talking about how she wouldn't date a bus driver and all that type of shit, and now she had the sperm bank by herself. But anyway, so they were having that conversation about that, and then they kind of broke off into a subtopic, obviously, and they were talking about, she said that she believes women are born with their value, as while men, she said, women are and men do, and that we have to earn our value as opposed to women just automatically having it. Anybody who want to jump in here, jump in. Let's get it.
I would love to hear from the ladies.
Where'd she get that from? I wonder where she got that from.
I would love to hear from the ladies first.
You disagree? Let's get it. Come on.
I definitely disagree. I mean, we are equally yoked. You can't have one without the other.
I'm very shocked here. Maybe I need to go get some more ratchet bras on this panel because y'all not disagreeing.
You can't have one without the other. You can't.
So it's a balance thing for you, in your opinion. It's balance.
We are balanced.
I thoroughly believe both have value. Women and men have equal value.
I feel like you choose to see that value. So you could be a woman and be out here just not being valuable. So that doesn't mean you have it inside of you, but if you're acting crazy, if you just being toxic or you doing all this, like, so it's chosen.
Tika, I got a question for you.
Okay.
She bracing herself, dog.
Is it okay if I share with everyone your stance of what you are right now? Because I think you already said that you are a pansexual, right? Lesbian. Okay.
Yeah.
Have you ever dated? You've dated a man before, though? Been in a relationship with a man?
Yeah.
Okay. What made you decide that you didn't see enough value in a man? You wanted a woman. You would rather deal with the one, or that you would rather deal with a woman than a man?
Greedy.
I wonder.
This nigga said dogs.
I do eat a lot though. No.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Double entendre.
Bars.
Looked at it like that.
Yo,
like
greedy
value,
ass.
One at a time. I feel like I think it's just like a vibe thing for me. Like, it's just, sometimes I just can't get down with penis. It just makes me feel away. Like,
wait, what? Hold on. No. We cannot let you skate past that. Back to, what did you just say?
I said, I think it just takes so much for me to just get comfortable with penis. Like, it's just
the actual thing itself, you're saying?
Correct. Yeah.
I can't get down with a penis either, so I feel you.
I think I just feel more. Maybe I think I just. I don't know. Maybe I feel more comfortable with a woman or something.
This nigga spitting.
I'm sorry,
Tig. What did you say?
I think I just feel more comfortable with a woman. Like I can be myself more and just wide the fuck open.
That's interesting. Okay.
So are you saying that it's kind of like the femininity, the soft side of a woman that you enjoy more than the masculine side of a man?
So no, I don't, and I want to say this: I don't fuck with studs. That I don't go for a woman with a strap. I don't do that. That's not what I do.
So you messing with an actual feminine woman?
Correct. A woman that knows she's a woman and is cool with being a woman and not
Nothing wrong with
using
that.
extra parts.
What
She
you
gonna
say,
be
Heather?
pretty then. She gonna be pretty then. She ain't gonna be looking like Daikisha.
That's interesting. All right. Okay.
Yeah.
You know what's
Because
funny?
like it's just it turns out it just ends up being a compatibility thing at the end of the day. Like, yeah.
You know what's
Like
funny
so
about
I'm
this topic?
pansexual, so but right now I'm lesbian. Right now in my life.
What's funny about this topic is that I kind of agree with this woman.
Yeah, I was confused by that because I was gonna say I kind of see what she's saying. Because I mean, in a sense, women are kind of valued based off how they look, and that's not the case for men. So, like, if a perfect like a 10 walks into a room and I'm in the room, people are just gonna kind of gravitate to her. And usually for men, it's more so like, what can you provide
But that's
the
not her
whole
value.
So
company?
you don't think women are judging us on looks as well?
Yeah.
No, I do absolutely, but
No, that's not. I
women,
don't think that's what he's saying.
It's a lesser extent.
Yeah, like a
lesser
motherfucker, a
extent.
woman can get married just because she's pretty. That's not the case for a man just being attractive. That's not gonna happen.
Name me the male Jennifer Lopez.
Dog.
Oh, it was just a
Mario
question.
Lopez, nigga.
He said Mario Lopez.
He's still out here.
What the
Too.
fuck is you talking about?
That nigga definitely. That
You
nigga
must
definitely.
talk about Slater from Saved by the Bell. He probably still knocking you down. Don't do that.
That
boy.
nigga definitely still got a job on E for that.
Definitely.
Okay, that's the one off.
And
That's
he
the one
ate
off.
you
But
like
it's
fine
way
wine.
it's way more Jennifer Lopez's
homo.
than it is Mario Lopez's, though. You do agree with that?
That what?
It was just a question.
There are
It wasn't
way
a
more Jennifer Lopez's than there are Mario Lopez's. You do agree with that, right?
No, I don't. I don't agree with
You
y'all.
have to.
Y'all at all.
You have to.
I
Because
I don't agree with you niggas
They're
at
both
all.
right. They're both right, but it depends on the situation.
So here's my stance.
They're both right.
Kind of what Brandon just said. It's kind of like a nigga is not just going to be cute and be able to float through his life, as opposed to where a woman.
Yes.
So the reason there is a difference is because the dynamics of a man and a woman and what each other are looking for. Men are looking for something totally different than what you're looking for. Mm-hmm. Whereas opposed to, you would be looking for a provider, you would be looking for a protector, you would be looking for somebody who can get shit done. Mm-hmm. Where I'm gonna be totally honest,
all women ain't looking for that.
You're right, but most are.
Most of them are.
And then on the flip side of that same coin, most men don't give a fuck what you can get done, especially if they rich and you fine. You think Mark Zuckerberg is like, this bitch can't cook, I'm not fucking with her. He don't give a fuck. He got a whole staff of chefs.
Yep.
So he can have a coldest woman on his arm and she's totally useless. I mean, look at Kim K.
I've seen Mark Zuckerberg. Have y'all seen Mark Zuckerberg?
All right, Jeff Bezos. Jeff Bezos is a better example.
Jeff Bezos. Jeff Bezos is a better example for sure. Yeah. Taylor, you shaking your head. Tell me why you disagree.
I mean, of course, I can't speak from no rich perspective, but that's when you get into the issue of, is she really valuable? Because you can get plenty of pretty women.
Right, but what he's saying is that pretty shit will get you in the door, whereas opposed to a man being handsome.
First of all, I don't think most men can get pretty women.
That's also a fact.
Okay, but here's where I disagree. Because y'all stance is that women are inherently, they bring their value because they basically wear it on their face. Is what
I'm not saying all women, but
I get what you're saying. Like they can walk into a room, they can garner attention, they can sort of kind of secure a man without ever having to actually have a conversation or put anything out there about themselves and their life, right?
Let me give you a prime example. Prime example.
All right.
We're gonna use some fictional shit, but prime example is when you're watching a spy movie. You got this main character in James Bond or whoever, you watching Mission Impossible, and this nigga can shoot, this nigga running and jumping over shit, he flying helicopters and driving tanks and shit. And then he gets to a ball, he wearing a tuxedo, and then the baddest bitch you ever seen walk into the room, and the whole fucking movie focuses on her. The whole room stopped. Niggas is killing each other over her. She becomes the focus. This nigga got to learn how to drive a tank, fly a helicopter, parachute. This nigga got to learn. He got to go to the Air Force, the Special Forces, the CIA, the FBI, the gun range, and he got to be rich.
I think then she end up not being valuable because she the one that kill him in the end.
But then that's just the basis of what's that. I think that damn near got to be negated because of course a man is gonna go for someone he thinks that's appealing to the eye, and it's the same with a woman. Of course she gonna go to somebody appealing to the eye. Then that's when you got to peel back them layers and see what else, what other value they bring in.
You think women go for the nigga that appeals to the eye?
No,
she might go for the nigga that got the biggest back.
There are definitely women that go. There are definitely women that go.
No, we're not saying that no women doesn't go for looks, but what I'm saying is you don't see all these ugly niggas with these women.
Exactly. If you ask most men,
that's not the first thing women look at.
If you ask most men what they want, attractiveness is usually going to be higher than what women will say what they want with men.
Okay. Because you don't know what they bring until you get until you get past that.
Say that one more time, Brandon.
Most men value attractiveness in a woman higher than the opposite.
It's probably number one. Yeah, it's probably number one.
Okay.
It's more than likely it's number one.
That can be true all day long. Now, you take that same subset of theories that y'all just presented so eloquently.
Mm-hmm.
Take the fine woman and put her in a room with a bunch of men, right?
Yeah.
She's going to come in. She's going to get the looks and the views, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Take that fine woman, that beautiful woman, and put her next to 10 other fine women. Bring her into the room with a room full of men, and then tell all the men, okay, y'all leave. What is their value then?
But now you're eliminating the whole variable
There's a reason for why I'm eliminating that, because y'all were basically leaning towards the idea that a woman has their inherent value is more, but it's more based on what a man and what a man values. So isn't the man what the man values? Isn't that the base of everything?
Yeah, what the man's value of a woman initially is the looks. That's what I was.
I'm not questioning that, but you're starting at what the man values.
But hold on. It's not even
which is why what the woman was, what she said on that panel, which is why what she said was important in the first place. But what she didn't realize is that what she's saying is, I come with value because I have something that you value. The man.
But let's amend that.
When you take away the man, if men never looked at women and was like, I don't really care about kids. If every man on earth all of a sudden was like, I don't care about having kids.
Would they have value?
I don't care about having kids, and I don't care about what you look like.
I can step beyond that, because it's not just about what men want from the women that makes them valuable. For instance, you go on TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, whatever the fuck you want to go on. Women influencers get way more brand deals than men, because they are easier to market. They market easier because they have a look. It doesn't even matter why the fuck did this bitch got 150,000 followers and she ain't never done shit but wear a bikini? Because her looks is her value, and that gets her money. Not just.
It gets
right. That's part of her.
You're only on one side of TikTok. You're only on your side of TikTok. Like, there are a lot of male influencers that do just the same, shirtless.
Yes.
It ain't about. I know it's
who's the male Kim Kardashian,
but he's more so saying you gotta earn it.
Who's the male Kim K?
I'm fucking with what he's saying, because it's not about whether there are men that do the same. It's about the difference in the amount. There are way more women that getting teased, or not teased, but they getting whatever, Garnier fruit teas. Motherfuckers getting all kind of brand deals just because they look pretty and they own Instagram. Yeah. That was the requirement.
That's their value.
Looking pretty is valued by who?
By
the world, everyone,
everybody.
Stop it. No, it's valued mostly by men. By men.
Women too.
By men.
But why wouldn't
It's
they pick?
valued by women because they're competing with other women for men.
But bro, but if
What
you're
are you talking about?
You don't think women like looking at women?
If you're marketing a makeup brand, would you rather
got
have
one on
Kylie
here.
Jenner doing it, or would you rather have somebody
Right.
looking good doing it?
Say that again.
If you were starting a makeup brand, would you rather have Kylie Jenner doing it, or would you rather have somebody that doesn't look as good as Kylie Jenner, who is
Lizzo?
maybe Lizzo, yeah.
That's a no-brainer.
But that's the point. It's easier.
Not the point. It's not the point. Hold on.
It is the point because it's all tied to how she looks. Because other
And who
women
is
are not going
valuing
to
how
buy
she
something.
looks?
It's plenty of women that love beautiful women, dog.
Of course, it's guys that love guys too. So that's not the point.
I'm not just talking about lesbians though.
But I think this. I mean,
Who do you think? Okay, here's a question. Who do you think was the prime audience for America's Next Top Model? You think it was niggas?
No.
It wasn't niggas. It was women.
Okay. What's that
women
mean?
like beautiful women.
So here's
No,
the
women like
are we even answering the question? Are women born with value while men have to earn it value?
Yes, they're both right.
I
They're
think
both
so.
Right.
Are women
they are
born
both
with
right.
value while men have to earn their value?
I don't think there's a nigga on this planet that could
They're
just
both
be
right.
born and just be and then get a brand deal.
They're both right. They are
Nigga,
both,
you gotta go to the gym. A woman could never have stepped foot in the gym and could just be shaped like a motherfucking stallion.
That's only gonna last for so long. You better get your ass to the
that.
gym.
But that's the
true.
caveat.
That's true.
Because
Yeah.
what I was going to get to was that women start declining in value over time.
Hey,
if you start looking like Mr. Ed in the face. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, Red and D. Y'all remember that podcast when I said them 5 things about women, what they got? Y'all remember that shit? This goes back to that. It's 5 things.
It's kind of an inside joke, but you got a list of 5 things. No.
It's 5 things that women have that men won't. Y'all got any guesses, women?
A vagina.
That's one.
That's one. That's two. That's 2.
Wait, what did she say?
Booty.
Okay. Can we make that number 1?
They sound like all body parts.
They are.
Yeah, they
At
are.
this point,
Clearly.
You got a mouth, booty, titties, coochie, and what? Oh, 2
No,
titties.
it was 2 titties.
2 titties, a mouth, a booty, and the coochie.
In some cases.
That's the 5. Those are the 5 requirements for both men.
baseline.
It is the baseline.
Because most men have even dealt with some e-gooks, but they got them 5 things.
Oh my God.
Yeah, women.
So that's their value.
I think we die here.
So what's the value of a man? What are they earning?
Oh yeah.
What he provides.
What he can bring to the table.
No, it's deeper than that. It's not.
I mean, it's deeper than that, but that's the start. That's the start of it. That's the start. But the beginning, if you want to break it down to its most basic form, is how she looks and what he can provide. That's really where it starts.
Yeah, I don't think that's
where
the
it
value.
starts.
I think both men and women are born with value, and then they both have
They are because we have something that y'all require as well. The
What
basis
she
of it.
asked was, what is the man earning? What is he earning?
So women are
How
born,
does he earn his value?
women are born with value. So the value that I'm born with is the looks, while men have to earn their value. What value is it that a man is earning? What is the value that the man earns? What is it that y'all think we value? I guess.
I think what a man could bring to the
How
table.
much protection?
Yeah, all of that.
Money, leadership.
All of that.
Yeah.
Let me ask y'all a question.
Being a handyman. Like,
Let me ask y'all
a lot of things.
Let me ask y'all a question.
Keep going.
Let me ask y'all a question. What is the Kardashian son's name?
Rob.
Yeah. Rob.
Okay. Is he valuable?
To somebody.
I don't know who Rob is.
To who? His friends?
He's
valuable.
like China's baby daddy.
He was valuable. He was valuable to old girl.
You think Courtney and Kim are more valuable than him? Or what about Kylie Jenner? What
by
about
light
Kylie
years.
Jenner?
By light years.
Kylie Jenner was just 14 with a pretty, well, she didn't even have a pretty face. She bought a pretty face, and then she instantly became valuable.
Billionaire.
She's a billionaire.
Self-made billionaire.
She didn't even do shit but buy a face, and she didn't even buy it. Her mama did.
Billionaire.
She gained value instantly by becoming beautiful. She wasn't even beautiful the night before.
Who's the male Kim K? Who's the male Kim K? I don't think it exists.
Rob Kardashian comes from the same empire that these women do. I was about to say another word. That nigga is not valuable at all. Nobody gives a shit about him.
Well, they mama trained them. They mama led them down the path to what they had to do.
He was on the TV show too. Don't nobody want that nigga.
No, I'm not talking about that path.
Oh, but what all I'm saying is that a motherfucker could just be born pretty.
Yep.
And then it's over because I'm not saying it's going to guarantee you some sort of great path in life, but the likelihood is much higher because
they got a head start against other women.
Yes. And then especially over men, because I went to school with plenty of niggas. It was like, he's handsome than a motherfucker. The girls love him, and he still ended up a loser. But then you got women that could just be pretty, and as long as you maintain yourself and you don't act too fucking crazy, a nigga snatch you up, pull him on his arm, and all of a sudden you rich because he rich.
Yep.
It's a lot of pretty ass broke women.
I mean, that's a fact.
What do y'all value? I mean, because I think
no, this ain't.
I think the thing with women is that like women are born with value because they look pretty, and I guess you could say men are born with value because they taller. Like you the tallest.
No, she talking facts. No, she talking facts because
I mean, all of that is visual.
There is this, but it matters to people because we are biological beings. We that matters to us.
Visual
because at the end of the day,
visual is the first thing that makes you choose.
You know why men like?
No, women like the dudes who go up to them. You don't necessarily have to be the most attractive, but if he's approaching her and he's talking something good, she can look past that.
So years ago, I had this debate with this chick that I was trying to get at many moons ago, wife. So she knew the chick that I was with. She didn't think she was attractive. And she said something to the fact that why did you choose her? So she didn't find what I thought was attractive in this young lady, but I did. So everybody, no matter what you think, you saying you think it's chicks that date ugly dudes, it's something that he got that she like.
I know, obviously, but what I'm saying is the likelihood that a woman will go for a nigga that's not attractive is much higher than a nigga that will go for Lizzo.
So we're talking about being born with physical value then.
Yes, because we are. So do you know why? Okay, men like wide hips. Men like wide hips. Do you know what biological fact that is tied to? Childbearing. It's very animalistic. It's simple. We like big titties. We like a voluptuous woman because it signals something much deeper that we don't even understand anymore because we're removed from the wild.
See, I get that, but it's not like every woman is born with that or even has that after they have a kid. So it's not a 1-to-1 ratio. It's not like as if every woman across the earth is being born in a way that is physically appealing to men. That's not the case.
Well, this is a general.
It's just more women. It's just more women than it is men. But men are born with strength. That's something that's valuable. Obviously.
And that's what women value on a biological, animalistic level.
Which is why I agree with Taylor. It's a balance. It's not, we're both born with things that the other desires.
I definitely think it's a balance. It's definitely a balance.
I agree with Taylor.
It's not one-sided.
Okay, so do you agree that the society determines what's valuable and what isn't?
No, I agree that men determine that.
So you don't think the state of a society changes how things are valued?
You said the state of a society?
The way that the condition that a society is in doesn't change the value of certain things?
Let
things or people?
Here's what I'm
All
getting at.
opinion based.
Here's what I'm getting at. 400 years ago, a man being stronger than another man was much more important than it is today. You know why? Because we have machines that can do everything a nigga used to have to do.
Mhm.
So your strength is not as important as it used to be, which is why men are less valuable today. Because all the things we used to have to do, a woman would have to depend on a nigga to go out there and pull that backhoe by himself.
Okay, but who created those machines?
We did.
Men.
Yeah.
So we still brought value in that way.
But this is also what I was getting at, because if you start talking about how sick a society is and why certain things aren't valued, because actually I agree with you 1,000%, brother. Men are valuable because all of the things that you're saying are true. Yes, our strength is very important. Our height is important because why? Again, you start talking about the animalistic, beastie, the beast side of all. No, not bestiality. That's the wrong word.
No.
Anyway,
No.
if you start talking about the animalistic desires of us as animals, a woman ain't gonna want no nigga that's 5'2" because a nigga that's 5'2" can't do what a nigga that's 6'2" can do. More than likely, I'm just saying. It's not a blanket answer. But now we're living in a place where that shit is not really as important as it was when my granddaddy was a kid.
Mhm.
Because back then they didn't have a fucking machine that you could just press a button and leave, or a mass, everything's globalized, like all of our food is picked and grown for us and shit like that. It wasn't like that. So the things that make us valuable are less important. But what you just said is a word, because you said men invented these machines, and men, see, that's why it's fucked up when women say, niggas ain't shit. What do I need them for? I got everything. I could just order some DoorDash, or I could order a landscaping company to cut the grass. Nigga, I don't need you. But the thing is, they be like,
you still depending on men because they're the people that's doing that.
You still need them. So
Not
I agree.
saying women aren't doing landscaping companies, but majority of that brute labor.
I agree, because men are the ones that sort of like, we made ourselves obsolete in a way.
That's what made me ask, like, what do you value? Because you might not have the strength to pull that whatever, but if you can reason or figure out how to do it, if you go get, that's not what I don't value how strong you look.
Right,
it's
right.
not about the visual. That's not.
So let me.
Well, I think when we say visual is going to be the first thing that gets you in the
Yeah,
door.
like to be attractive. You
both
got to be attractive to get through the door.
Right. Definitely on both sides. I think so. I think so with women as well. I think it's visual as well.
It's more on the man side though.
I'm not saying it's more heavily with women, but I think it's
Derek,
something
funny,
visually
that
women like.
I kind of disagree with that too.
You think the door to attract, the hurdle to attractiveness is higher on which side on which gender? Which one is more important? Which one is it more important to the attractiveness level? Is it more important than women or is it more important than men?
Look, I'm gonna be totally honest. If I'm driving up the street and it's an ugly bitch on the side of the road fighting with a tire,
you go flash that photo, my nigga.
I was with you to the
You go
side,
flash
bro.
that photo, and you may have put it. You may have put it in turbo. You may put it in turbo.
but if I'm driving up the road, if I'm driving up the road and one of them ones, and she over there like, I don't know, I can't do it. I'm like,
that nigga gonna crash the car to get to her.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's gonna be a 4-car pileup. Nigga, what you talking about?
And it's funny, but it's true. I guarantee you. And niggas would never say that out loud. But
Captain Haven Flavor Host strikes again.
That is a fact.
Let me tell you something. I have seen some ugly niggas. Okay.
Yeah.
In high school, the cute niggas, the ones that was on the basketball team, them is the niggas that the girls was flocking around. So don't act like this. This is what I'm saying.
You're right.
Like everything that you said about the women, it can be said for the men too.
I was just about to say,
But if you want to do a breakdown, how often do you see an ugly man with a gorgeous woman versus an ugly woman with a good-looking, gorgeous man?
I don't
It
know.
don't.
Bro.
It don't really. In one breakdown, it's way more prominent than the other one.
I've
And
seen
more
a lot
than
of.
likely, the ugly man is probably like has money, as can provide things for her that.
I can't say that anymore.
Come on, dog. Come on. You're not being. You're being
disagree.
disingenuous now.
No, I'm not. How?
Yes, you are, because you
How?
know that ugly men have to do things differently to get women versus a. It's like what Gerald. It's just like what Gerald was saying just a minute ago.
Wait, hold on. Let's. I need an understanding from you first before we continue this.
Okay.
When you say get, are you saying get bust down, or are you saying actually in a relationship, wifed up with kids?
Relationship. That's what I'm talking.
Okay,
I'm thinking from that angle. Just
because ugly women and men get bust down all the time. That's not nothing.
Yeah, but I'm talking about marriage. I'm talking about relationships. I'm talking about marriage. I'm talking about
I see ugly people married all the time. What the
yes, but what I'm saying is, yes, they get married, but I'm talking about what's the breakdown do you think of when ugly men get with highly attractive women versus an ugly woman getting with an attractive man? How often which one is more prevalent, do you think? Which one happens more?
I don't know.
Now, you know which one happens more because you're a man. You know what happens more.
I'm telling you what I see with my own eyes. When I see women out here that I consider to be pretty or gorgeous or fine, then when you see they dudes be up to par, especially on Instagram. When you see these Instagram models and shit, they dudes don't be some fat slob somewhere. Stop it, dog. No, that's not what's happening. They some fat slob living in Ecuador talking about I'm gonna just sit at home and eat bonbons all day and eat these fucking Hershey's. No, nigga, they nigga is in the gym. That nigga is doing something with his life. He a personal trainer somewhere or some shit. They ain't married. They no ugly ass fat nigga that work at Walmart.
I agree with that. I actually do agree with that. Yeah, because it's like even if the nigga face ugly, he still got to be kind of in shape or something.
Yeah, it's something.
Also, no, a lot of girls don't be showing their man.
That's true too.
All right, anybody got one last topic? It's getting late. I just want to make sure we get the third topic.
2 hours in.
We get a quick
let's ask that one question. How many ugly NBA niggas you just seen get these badass wives? How many you have seen? How many you have seen?
I got a question.
These women be beautiful.
What's the
question?
We're talking about money.
What's the question?
That's the
money
point I'm making, dog. That's the point. It ties into everything. It ties into what a man provides, allows them to access to certain level of women that they probably wouldn't access if they worked at Walmart.
Okay, and the pretty chick that got pulled by that NBA player, she had to do something extra to get out there to get her face seen. She couldn't just be working at Walmart and she was just pretty chick.
But that's the point. Bro, that's the point. Men pull women out of Burger King all the time. It don't happen the other way.
No, they fucking don't.
It don't happen. Come on, stop it. You're not being real.
No, they don't. NBA players are not pulling chicks out of Burger King and wifing them. Nigga, cut that shit out.
You mean to tell me that men go to strip clubs all the time and talk about how I can retire you, baby. Come on, come play, please.
Okay, and how many of them actually do?
The other way.
How many of them actually do? That's just game, nigga. That's some shit they be telling them.
Tiger Woods' wife was
a stripper that one time.
What you say?
Was Tiger Woods a wife a babysitter only?
Yes,
that was her only job.
She was a babysitter.
I understand what Edward is saying. He's saying the barrier to entry is much lower for women because all you have to do is be pretty for a lot of these niggas. Because if a nigga, like he said, if a rich nigga walk in and because I done seen some pretty women in places like, what the fuck are you doing working here? Because you almost look too cold to be working here. But I digress. If a nigga walk in and find that anomaly, that diamond in the rough,
he gonna snatch it right.
He don't give a fuck about where you work at, as opposed to where women, they definitely care about. Because if she find a nigga that all he's ever done is work at Wendy's, she like, literally.
Try and pull Cash Doll working at Wendy's.
Literally,
it ain't gonna happen, my nigga. It ain't gonna happen.
I was just watching Pop the Balloon the other day, and a nigga said that he was a mail carrier. She loved this nigga up until he said that.
Pop.
And then she eliminated this nigga. What she said was, I want a nigga that's more ambitious than that. She's like, I can help my man.
Job?
She's like, I can help my man come up and change, but she's like, what do? Are you trying to get another job? She's like, I kind of don't like that because you're just a mail carrier.
A government job ain't good enough?
This nigga was like 6'3", dog.
See what I'm saying?
She didn't give a fuck about how he looked.
Yes, you do. You just don't want to. You just don't want to hear me. You just don't want to hear it.
Let's move on.
You're wrong on this one, big dog. You wrong on this one. You wrong.
Let's get to Tika.
My question on that last subject is, why y'all judging niggas? Huh?
Wait, what?
Nigga,
why y'all judging niggas so much?
Nigga,
y'all
I
going
said
around saying these niggas is pretty as hell.
All right, man. What's the last topic? Anybody got something they want to bring before what y'all got? Because I got something, but if y'all want to...
Oh, shit, I was supposed to have fucking Netflix on. What's going on with Tyson right now?
I'm watching the fight. It ain't on yet. They still doing undercards.
Damn, I want to see all that. Anything good happen?
It's just some little hoe-ass fights, Mexican fights.
That chick, did them two chicks fight? Oh, no, that's the main card, too.
Yeah, that's the sub-main. Derek, you got something?
This was Derek last topic. This is Derek.
What was my last topic?
He was capping.
That nigga Derek was. That nigga Derek was. Turn him this way.
Edward, I know you had something about Denzel or whatever. You want to bring that up?
Yeah.
We can exit on that.
Yeah, it's a little I would think it's a two-pronged topic, like more of a legacy type of discussion about Denzel, but also just the fact that what is Denzel's legacy in terms of acting, and also the fact that let me bring it up. He recently posted this video about his career and what he's doing in the future. Share the screen.
He got a movie coming out soon, right? Gladiator 2?
Yep.
Yeah. You know what? While you looking that up, do y'all think Denzel's a great actor? And why?
Because they don't feel like he acting. They feel like he really mean that shit.
No.
Have you ever seen Denzel play a special needs person?
Acting isn't necessarily being
Roman J was special needs.
Yeah, I was about to say Roman J is
the lawyer. Okay,
yeah.
Attorney at law.
It's also not necessarily about being a different character. He's
about
there
knowing.
to sell the movie, but it is an endurance, and you have to bring that energy the entire time, and it has to be continuous. So, yes, I do think he is a great actor.
I think he's a great actor, and
he may not have the range, but
that's a different slot. You know, when you start talking about range, now you can ask, does he have great range? And the answer is maybe no, but is he a great actor? Absolutely.
I want to know all of it, all your thoughts on him.
Yeah, absolutely. Denzel can do no wrong in my eyes. So.
Can you ever play the role that y'all don't like? Like that he did bad at, I'm saying? Not necessarily if you like the movie, but
I can't think of a role that
Gladiator 2.
You haven't seen it yet.
I
know why you about to say that.
Gladiator 2.
Go ahead, get your shit off, man. I see you. What happened? You had the video up here. What happened to it?
Because we were talking. I don't want to step over everybody talking. I think he's a little bit overrated, to be honest with you.
Denzel?
Why do you say that?
Because of the range. I think that is if you had to pick a stat that is, if you were creating an actor, I think the range is I could be wrong, and I'm open to criticism about it. But I think the range is probably the most important stat you can have as an actor, because it's like Will Smith just plays Mike Lowry in every movie. That's what it's like. That's
kind of what I was getting at as well.
You know what I'm saying? Like Will Smith was Mike Lowry in Bad Boys. He was Mike Lowry in Suicide Squad.
He wasn't Mike Lowry in the Venus and Serena movie, nigga.
No.
He was Will
King
Smith
Arthur.
with a Richard
Oh,
with a Richard
King
Williams tried accent. I
and his
mean,
clothes and his outfit.
I don't think he was that good. I don't think he was that good in that movie, to be honest with you.
Oh, I love that movie.
I'm not saying the movie wasn't good, but I think I got lost in the fact that he was Ali. Like,
Oh,
I got
I see what
lost
you're
in
saying.
that.
That's what you
That was
kept.
a good
That's
job
what
for me.
you were mad. That's what stuck in your head.
Yes, like it's suspended the what's it called, suspension of belief.
Yeah.
That I believe
Suspension of
that like
disbelief.
I'm watching Ali. Denzel, I just watched Denzel be Denzel, and he was Alonzo. He's been like what he was the Equalizer. It's the same guy. No Caesar laughed like how he laughed. They don't, Julius,
Jake.
they didn't ancient Romans didn't laugh like
Jake.
that. Like I guarantee, like they don't talk like that. You know what I'm saying? But
Back in
is
that
he a
day,
great
back
actor?
in that era.
Yeah, is he a great actor? Yes, I prefer somebody like Jeffrey Wright.
Jeffrey Wright
That
is
is
my
a guy,
favorite actor of all
like,
time.
That is a guy, to me, that's one of the best actors. He'll never get that role because he'll never get that acknowledgement because of how he looks physically, how he, his stature or his appeal. But to me, people like him, Daniel Day-Lewis, is it Johnny Depp? Yeah, him. Like they
Now
have
that's
the
a nigga
range.
with range.
Yeah, they can be so many different people. So I think he's a great actor. I think he's what? Please elaborate.
Man, first of all, hold on.
Please.
Present your picture, nigga. Pull the picture
I'm
back
wait.
up.
I mean, shit. I mean,
It's not there no more. You removed it.
Okay, because okay. Here we go. I'll do
You
it
don't
right
got to. If it's a backstage, they can't see it. Goofy ass nigga.
Wait till you come to Atlanta.
I'll be there, nigga. 3 weeks.
Please come on.
Okay then.
Why is it clicking that one?
Here, I'll add it to the stage.
After that, I'm playing Hannibal. After that, I've been talking with Steve McQueen about a film. After that, Ryan Coogler is writing a part for me in the next Black Panther. After that, I'm going to do the film Othello. After that, I'm going to do King Lear. After that, I'm going to retire.
And what was the other thing?
I think that is a. Huh? You say it again.
What was the other thing you had?
Oh, then I got you. So my apologies.
I didn't say I was retiring. I said I have a plan. I'm only interested in working with the best, and that's my plan going forward. I did.
That was weeks ago, nigga. I'm partying.
Dude, you remember stepping on my couch? Hell
no,
yeah.
that was weeks ago. But is he a great actor? Yes. I just think that he's might be a little touch.
He feeling
on
himself?
the overrated side versus the.
I'm with you on that.
Other
I think he's a
side.
little overrated, but I think he's someone that gets a lot of because he's attractive.
Yeah.
No, I mean he's attractive.
Here we go with this shit.
I mean, it's what it is.
It's not
Like,
true.
It's what it is.
He's attracted to pretty much every demographic.
Like Denzel, yeah.
And at every age that he's been. So I think a lot of it has to do with that. But I think he's a phenomenal actor. But I do think I can understand why someone would say he's overrated, and I kind of agree. Just because of the range.
So y'all put him and Samuel in the same boat then?
He's a better actor.
But I don't think Samuel L's in the conversation for best actor. I've never heard anyone even fight that case. He should be.
He's like the most decorated actor.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he's not. How many times has he been the leading man?
No, yeah, never.
Like in a really good movie. Like
I
in
think Samuel has a better range.
I do too. I think he's not better, but I think he has range.
I think he has more range than Denzel. I do.
I think so too. Look at him in Django and look at him in Black Snake Moan.
Black Snake Moan.
Yeah.
That's the same nigga with the bad hair. What we talking about? Same nigga with bad hair. What we talking about? You think so? Wait, you think so? To get this right, you think Samuel Jackson has more range than Denzel does?
Yeah,
I do.
Wow.
What range does Denzel?
I think there's an argument.
The
What
only range.
What has Denzel turned into?
This is the only thing I could think about with Denzel. He was an alcoholic in Flight. That was the first time we ever seen him like that. And he was a fat, awkward lawyer.
And then Alonzo.
He was a dirty. Yeah, dirty cop.
A dirty cop.
Even though I don't think that's one of my favorite movies of all time, and I don't think that movie was very different. It wasn't astray from form.
What?
You know what?
Training
Better
Day.
Blues was hard for me. That's one of my favorites.
It's just Denzel with a trumpet. Like, you know what I'm saying?
But he was
Denzel with a trumpet.
That was early. That's early Denzel too, though.
Yeah.
Malcolm X, bro. Malcolm X. How we
I'm not forgetting
this?
Malcolm X. That's one of my favorite movies as well.
That was Denzel with a kufi, nigga. Come on, man. What are we talking about?
Fences with what's her name?
John Q.
Say that again, Tika.
I said, what about Fences with what's her name?
That is my movie.
Valletta. I mean, the ugly
Sound
crying.
like yeah, that one.
That was a good.
I mean,
yeah.
Ugliest crying lady in the world.
I guess I'm confused because the same things as y'all saying about Denzel can be applied to Samuel as well. I mean, you say he has a bit more range, but when I look at Sam L, it's Sam L. Like it's Sam L as a Jedi. It's Sam L as you know what I'm saying? Like
Nick Fury,
as these niggas that he's playing. Like it's Sam L still.
I agree with that.
I guess it's who you liking or preferring more than.
Yeah, I think they just know their lane. It's just like a singer. Like I don't want to hear you singing out of your octave just because you're trying to get more range. I think he just know what
what
fits him best.
Yeah.
We ain't never seen Denzel just play a flamboyantly gay character.
Please don't.
But hold on, Edward, I'm throwing you the oop right now. Go ahead.
No, clearly, I don't want to dunk it. But
Do you? No, you got to. No, nigga, it's too late.
I don't want to. I'm missing the oop.
This nigga's scared. Let me remind you of the motherfucking rules, boy. Stand on that business.
I think that'd be the issue. These actors, they want to try to expand their range and then they step into the wrong role. Yes, just trying anything.
Yeah, because honestly, I mean, it kind of goes back to what Brandon was saying earlier. Like, just because they can't do the range of a Colin Farrell, or the range of somebody along those lines, or Leo, it doesn't really mean that they're not a great actor.
I'm not saying he's not a great actor.
They may not be a great method actor, depending. They can't really take on the different roles, but it takes a lot to be able to do that. That's a talent in itself to be able to portray different characters and stuff like that. So, I mean, it doesn't take away from his greatness. For me, it doesn't. Like I said, Denzel great. My eyes.
You shouldn't have did that sequel.
What? You talking about to Equalizer?
Yeah. You was just sleepy.
There's three of them. There's three of them. They was good. They was good.
They was good in all y'all eyes. I just think he, just like Keanu Reeves, he trying to fight and look like slow motion.
You like Steven Seagal though, don't you?
Hell no. I ain't like Steven Seagal since I was 8.
You like all them drastic hand movements. You like that shit. Don't play. You like that shit. Don't front. Everybody liked it. We all liked it.
Yeah, when I was 8.
Man, we could.
I think the other topic is, and I don't know how much time we got left because it can go long. But the other topic is there's a rumored scene that they cut out that he kissed a man in the upcoming Gladiator movie. Now I don't know, how many intimate scenes or that has Denzel ever had in his career. I don't know if that is.
I think he had one in Flight. He might have had one in Mo Better Blues.
Oh, he definitely was hitting them off in Mo Better Blues.
But it's not many, if that's what you're getting at. So
Yeah,
you're saying,
it's
so
not,
what are you?
it's not many.
What are
It
you
is.
saying?
It's just such a departure from his norm, and
But he's never playing gay characters. Them gladiator niggas were gay as fuck.
that's also true.
That's true.
But I just think there needs to. I think love, displaying. It doesn't matter hetero or gay. Scenes in movies in general, I think this needs to stop. I don't think they serve a purpose. Like it could be implied, but I think it's just so kind of corny to see a sex scene in 2024. Like it's just unless it's like you're watching a movie like 50 Shades of Grey or something like that that is based on
Sex.
yes, if it's based on that, that's different. But I think it's just seen at this point. Is gratuitous the right word, or is it not gratuitous? But
I guess that works.
Yeah. It's just. I don't think that stuff is
Unnecessary.
needed in movies today because it's like
I ain't
even
gonna
looking
lie.
at movies back in the '90s when it was going when it was happening way more frequently. It just seems like
You think it was more frequent back then?
in the '90s. Yeah. Like just
sex
the
scenes?
yeah.
I don't think so.
I don't think so either.
I mean, it's done more tastefully today versus what it was in the 90s. Like you'll see they're humping in the bed and the sheets going up and down, stuff like that. Like I'm just talking about it's done more tastefully now. But but in the 90s they were more flagrant. You could tell there's more of a boys club mentality when it came to sex scenes like that, right?
When I was watching Power, I just watched the whole series this year.
See,
I was so fucking tired of sex scenes.
Yeah,
oh my
man.
God. What are y'all doing? I don't want to see this every episode. And then they did the same thing for BMF. They did the same thing for Kanan. Or it was less in Kanan, but say again?
Forrest. That's Tom and Forrest. They're doing it in Forrest.
I don't want to see this.
Euphoria
For sure. It was dicks everywhere. I was just like, what?
Yeah.
But anyway, dog, I don't know. It's you scared. You scared, Edward.
I'm not scared. I'm being.
Get your scary ass off the stream, dog.
What you mean, dog?
This nigga scared, dog.
What you want?
Because you wanted I know you wanted to go hard on this last Denzel topic, but it's all good.
Yeah, you don't lighten the jab up. I don't appreciate that.
What you mean? I lighten the jab up.
Punches?
Yeah, he pulling punches.
For sure.
Pulling punches, bro.
It's all good though, bro. We can wrap it up. If anybody got some shit they want to get off their chest, if not, we can get up out of here.
Who y'all got on this fight?
Oh yeah, I think Tyson about to break his jaw. At least I hope he does.
I hope so.
Bread in? Anybody got bread in the game?
No, somebody hit me up earlier and asked me, was I betting? I don't fuck around with that shit. I fuck around and be poor. More poor than I already am.
Pistons up 2, 13 seconds left.
Say that again?
Oh my God.
The who?
Pistons up 2. Nigga.
We want to lose. We have to lose. Stop.
All right, good night.
Win.
All right, that was a good stream.
Now you want niggas to shut the fuck up.
Fucking Pistons.
Pistons up 2.
We can get out of here, man. I appreciate y'all. Appreciate anybody that watched. I can't believe Pocket watching with JT. I don't know if y'all know who that is, but he's got a big following. And he tapped in. That's pretty dope. We can get up out of here.
Appreciate it. Appreciate y'all. See y'all on the flip side, everybody.
Yeah.
Walks off slowly from camera.
The gods are watching.